right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. What day is it? Oh, yeah. Wednesday, I guess. You're in here live. I'm a little bit behind getting things set up, so bear with me. I'm just, I discovered, if you happen to be on yesterday's stream, I think it was yesterday's stream, that you can, on my little Ouija boards, which I guess I'll show to you, you can embed PDFs. I had no idea. So I'm going to throw I don't want to make it bigger. Well, so I was going to throw my my PDFs in here for, that's the solo rules, and then the main rule book I've got over here. Then I also have the pre-gen, which I just reference over here. Well, you know, I probably could put these on the side, actually. Well, if you like to move for me, why don't you move over here? You can move over here. And actually, you could move over here as well. So I'll have those on the side. Hey, Irvin, how are you? Right now, we've been going through Dragonbane Deepfall Breach. So Dragonbane, which is, I guess, Dragonbane itself, and I don't know if Krista or somebody's in here is more intimately involved with it, was, I guess, a Swedish sort of D&D-ish RPG from the 80s. And then Free League Publishing has come out with an updated, rethought out version. And the original name was called Dragonbane. I think it's something a little bit different in the original language. I can't remember what it is. But like Dragons and Demons, I think would be the direct translation. So we've been playing through Dragonbane solo. Dragonbane has some solo rules, and I actually think they're quite good. And this is my first real attempt at playing anything really solo. We're in the midst of a mission. I need to get to the top here. Where are we? Is this the mission we're on right now? Well, that's Expedition 1. Where's Expedition 2? Whoa, zooming in. Or did we get that far? No, we did start on the newest expedition, didn't we? Did I just not? Maybe we're over here. I bet you we're over here. You know, I think I meant to make images, and I haven't made images yet. Oh, no, yes, I did. I just didn't add them in here. My brain is mush, because I did make images for this. Okay. So we started off our first area. So the concept of the Deepfall Breach is there's kind of like an Underdark-ish sort of Underdark-ish kind of area. Big rift chasm that was created through some, big godly or, spear of the gods, I think, or something, an evil weapon that was, impaled or scratched the surface, created this breach. And all kinds of things are down there. And there's a guy, I think his name is Engulfer. He's got a magic stone eye who's sitting at the entrance to the breach, and he kind of gives you missions. And with his magic eye, he's able to see into some areas of the breach, but not all. So he gives you your objective, and they basically tell you as part of the solo setup, essentially how many different areas you're going to move through. And then because of Engulfer's magic eye, you do get some read aloud text for some rooms. He's able to see in some rooms, and for those rooms you get a description, and for the rooms you don't, you use the tools that in the solo rules to generate the description. So the first room we came up in this particular mission is, and this too is because I goofed on the earlier mission. I'm kind of doing the second mission even though we already got the objective. So this one's kind of a explore to the end and then get back out again. Hey, Brian Smith. Yeah. Okay, so you backed it on Kickstarter. Awesome. Yeah. So all these PDFs are part of the, I believe, part of the starter kit, and so you should have access to them, I'm assuming. So the first room we started off in was called the Great Maw, and I had some images for these, and I don't know what I did with them. I did have some images for these. At least I think I did. I'm sure I did, because I'm pretty sure I shared them in places. I just didn't actually keep them for myself. Point. I'll check momentarily. Yeah. So we start off in the Great Maw, the Stone Maw, and the this is what Engulfer's description told us: is this great earthen visage is twisted and warped by time, and the chisels of cultists evoking a fanged monstrosity whose gaping maw uh, presents your entry point. I see blood dripping from those wicked fangs, but I cannot say if this vision is real or prophetic. Now, I've noticed that with most of the descriptions that we get from Engulfer, they're some sort of get a sense of kind of the obstacle challenge. There's a antagonist in here. This one really it's very atmospheric. But you could have taken this and I could just say, well, I guess I just walk into the stone mall and there I go. But not wanting to be so flippant, we used the tools, the oracular tools, to yeah, there we go. I know I came up with some things. We used some oracular tools to generate an obstacle, like something of interest here, besides just the fact there's this big stone mouth. And we asked the questions: is the entrance trapped? And we got an extreme yes. And then we asked what sort of trap it was, and what we got back was restore ancient knowledge, that we translated into a feeble mind trap, thinking that such a thing would you'd get overloaded with kind of the uh, all this minutia from a past life or past many lives, and it would just be too much information overload, so it would actually act as kind of a dumbing effect. And then we said it would last 2 areas. So I was just thinking about in terms of time frames. Sure, I could have used minutes or hours, but since everything's so abstract here, I thought it might make more sense to think about how many of these areas will I pass through before that whatever this feeble mind effect would last. And we decided, I think I rolled dice. I think of 1d4, and I got 2. But we did use one of my fictional positioning questions, and these are questions we can ask to try to give ourselves some sort of environmental advantages, or at least some room to maneuver, or some ingredients to do something, some tools potentially. Is there an obvious tripwire? And the answer was yes. So I was having, because there was an obvious tripwire. Because there was an obvious tripwire, I was able to. I think I used acrobatics to get through over the top, and we ended up in a claustrophobic crawl space. And the theme for this was infiltrate peaceful treasure. And we determined that we came from this crawl space into a chamber, and in this chamber the floor is completely covered in ice, and there's some kind of treasure chest that we can, because the ice is translucent enough that we can see down, some kind of treasure chest, but it's sealed in ice. There's also a hovering sphere that's here, and there was another element where there's a confounding puzzle, and there's also another element which was a dreadful altar. So we put these together, and we have 2 fictional positioning questions. We did use one, which was, is there some kind of combustible present? Got an extreme yes. And I forget who came up with the idea that there's some kind of creature that's here that we need to capture, and if we can capture it and then burn it on the altar, it will undo the ice, or melt the ice water. Because we got because one of the other things is we asked is the sphere causing the ice? We got the answer yes. And we asked if the dreadful altar controls the sphere, and then we also got a yes. And then I just rolled for some theming for the dreadful altar and got hunt moving resource. So we put hunt moving resource together, came up with this critter that's somehow chasing around. Now I have one more fictional positioning question, and then it's probably going to get down to, did I open up roll here? I don't think I did. Hold on a minute. I don't need the store. I need the rooms. There we go. Okay, so I have my character sheet in here. So I got one more fictional positioning question, and then it's basically, I guess I could try throwing my knife, hit the creature. Or can we think of another fictional positioning question to make this easier? Am I going to end up in hand-to-hand combat with some kind of creature? No, Sorian says they're here to solo, and Brian Smith says, good, never solo alone. Yeah, something doesn't sound right about that, Brian Smith, but oh, this was a swig of Diet Coke for the working man. Okay. What other question we have? Can I locate the creature? Well, I suppose we should be able to. Do we want to ask something a little bit more specific? I feel like we know it's here, I guess. I guess we can ask. I almost feel that that's not really a fictional positioning question. It's more of a, I'm going to say we can locate it. Or can we come up with something a little bit more? I feel like if I'm going to burn my last fictional positioning question, I want more that's going to give me more than just can I. Oh, you know what? I didn't get a description. All right, so let's ask. We can ask what the what does the, so I'm going to put this into the I'm going to put this into the Oracle. We'll see what we get back. Oh, here we go. Okay, we got the inspiration table. So I need 3d20. What kind of Pokemon are we dealing with here? The ultimate question. And now I need dice. I need 3d20. 5, 1, and 1. Actually, those are actually in Dragon Bane, we want 1. So gosh, why are we wasting our? So it's destroy ancient battler. Well, that's interesting. What is an ancient battler, do we think? I'll just get you out of the way. Destroy ancient battler. Well, that's not super. I mean, it's cool. I don't know what it tells us. Destroy ancient battler, a statue or a frozen undead? Well, a statue or frozen undead would definitely. Doesn't tell us what it looks like, though. Destroy ancient battler. Destroy. Now, we don't have to put them together in a sentence. Right? It's really just giving us these 3 elements that we could then place in different orders if we needed to. So it doesn't have to be, we don't have to read it out like a sentence. But it does make a cool sentence. Destroy ancient battler. I just am, I don't know, I'm sort of just, what to do with you? Destroy ancient battler. Destroy ancient battler. Bloom, bloom, battler. Oh. Ancient battler encased in ice golem. So an ice golem. Not making it easy on me, Brian Smith, but how do we burn it? We got to be able to set fire to the thing, and I wouldn't think at first blush that an ice golem would be flammable. Sorian asks, why is it combustible? Because we had asked the question of, let's see, the altar, the theme of the altar is hunt a moving resource, which is what we determined, right? And then part of the fictional positioning question was, is there a combustible presence? And we got an extreme yes. And then just through the chat, I forget who it was who brought it up, decided that it was, put up the idea that it's a critter that we needed to capture and burn. Hence the, he said critter. I'm okay with it being, critter, because this was just stuff that we riffed on in the chat. Just that there was something in here, but something not like, oh, there's a piece of paper on the floor, right? There's something that we would have to, we have to hunt, going back to the altar's theme of hunting a moving resource. It's something that, is moving around. I mean, of course, the obvious thing really is that the sphere is is what we have to destroy. Maybe I'm just, what, I'm going to call an audible because it just makes sense. And I don't know why I didn't think of this last week. Last week. Hunt moving resource, we have a floating sphere. I'm just going to call it the floating sphere. Let's just it's the floating sphere. It's just intelligent. Let's ask for, and maybe we'll just say that this floating sphere's theme. I'm just going to say the floating sphere. I don't know why we run around our elbows to get to our wrists, but let's just go with that. And presumably, now that we're in here, so I'm going to imagine we're here, we're starting to look around, maybe we approach the altar, and then the sphere starts to move around, and now it's like that thing in Star Wars, this kind of thing. It's dodging, it's whipping and dodging, and somehow we intuit that we must knock out the sphere. And then maybe inside the sphere, or the sphere itself, because it's magical and whatever, will burn. Whatever. We gotta get the sphere captured, or knock it out, and then right. I think that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I mean, I think that, and I, like I said, I didn't. We kind of went on that one idea, but it makes a lot more sense. It doesn't add a lot of things in here that the sphere, right? It's, and to Brian Smith's point, he said in the chat that tricky to keep all these sets of things in mind when trying to relate them into something fictional, right? Is we should always look. At least my thought process is, let's always look for the stuff we already have before we start creating new stuff. So for some reason, we just didn't think about, oh, of course, it's the sphere. The sphere is causing the ice. We have to get the sphere. Maybe hit it on the altar. Maybe we got to just put it on the altar, do something on the altar with the sphere, and that will end the effect, which totally makes sense. But we got our imaginations ran wild with critters and things like that. But in the end, the actual simple thing is I need to capture the sphere and put it, and grab it on the altar. Okay. So that's one mystery down. Now, the mystery number one, we do have one more fictional positioning left. And we also have we got a fictional positioning left. And then we have to figure out what is applicable. What can I do to try to capture the sphere? There's the altar in the room. Presumably there's ice in the room. In terms of fictional positioning, we could ask, is there... One, I should ask how, I could ask how high is the sphere off the floor, because I'm a halfling. I'm playing a halfling, so I'm not exactly super tall. And here I'm just going to read off my skills, really the ones that I'm best at if I can, or best at if I choose to use them. So we have acrobatics. We're good at acrobatics. We're fairly good at awareness, which isn't an act. It's not going to help us capture the sphere necessarily directly, and maybe we can find a use for it. Bartering, I'm not good at it, but it doesn't matter. Beast lore, this isn't a beast, so I'm not worried about that either. Bluffing, I'm gonna say we can't bluff the sphere. I'm actually okay at it. You're rolling a 20 and you want to get your skill or under, so 10 is about 50-50. So I'm all right at that, but I don't think it's going to matter. Bushcraft, I don't think it's going to matter. Crafting is not going to matter. Evade, maybe if this is something that has offensive capabilities, I'm going to need to dip and dodge out of the way, then evade might be useful. Healing, not going to enter into it. Hunting, fishing, I mean, I could probably make an argument for it, but I'm just going to say no, and I'm below average in it anyway. Languages, below average. Myths and legends, below average. Performance, not very good. Persuasion, not very good. Probably neither of those are probably going to enter it. Riding, yeah, I'm going to slim pickings and jump on it like in Dr. Strangelove, probably not. Seamanship, I'm not very good at it, and it doesn't matter, so great. Sleight of hand, I'm good. Sneaking, I'm good. Spot hidden, I'm fairly good. Swimming, not going to matter until the ice melts. Until the ice melts. And then it will matter a great deal. And I'm below average at that. So in terms of, we want to probably lean on, and then in my weapon skills, I'm good with my knives, which would be good for throwing the knives if that's how we end up trying to take the thing out. That's about the only one of those that I'm good at, but I only have knives. So I have knives and a dagger. So that's, 2 knives and a dagger. Whoops. So that's long and short of it. We have a fictional positioning question left, so we should try to get something good out of it in terms of what can we ask? What can we give us to make our task, whatever it ends up being, a bit on the easier front. You've got something. If you got ideas, let me know, because I am. Oh yeah, here's. Oops. Just I found one of those. So there's the sphere that I mocked up and the room. Ryan Smith, I refuse to ask the Christmas story question because we already know the answer to the question of will my tongue stick to it if I lick it. The answer, of course, is yes. Well, there's no fire department to save us down here. So, all right, let's ask how high. And this is not a fictional, not one of my. It's a question. Which is a general question. How high is the sphere? How far off the floor is the sphere hovering? It is. Oh, let me just finish the sentence. I hate seeing typos. I cannot not deal with it. All right, so that's the question. Now, in our solo rules, and if I was thinking it, so I was being better about this, I would have put the books closer to where the rest of the action is. Okay. Do we have a? So we have to go. Okay, so I think we're gonna have to do that distance. My distance oracle over here. And hand I would just say would be kind of on my level. Near, not too far away, far distance, right? Distant would be, right at the ceiling or something similar. And we need a 1d6. 3. 3 tells us that it is near. All right, so the sphere is near. The sphere is near. And now I want to use another fictional positioning question because I feel like I feel like I need something. I don't have. I think I gave myself back some more rope. I think that was the one thing I did in terms of. Did I give myself back rope or did I not? No, I didn't give myself back rope. Oh well. Oh yeah, because I couldn't afford it. I decided not to cheat and just give it to myself. So I don't even have any rope, but it's a sphere, so it'd probably be hard to really rope down if I was going to. But we got knives. I mean, I feel like the only thing I can really do is try to hit it with my knife. Like, I don't have anything special. Brian Smith wants some dungeon dressing or random room aspects. Well, ask away, Brian Smith. I will determine if what you're asking is in my favor or not. I feel like if it's a neutral question, we can just ask, which I'm happy to. I just wanted to limit myself in terms of questions I could ask to just try to gain stuff. So the floor is ice. Got the and this doesn't, the altar doesn't have to look at this, it just happens to be what I generated. See, if I had the rope, I could try to like stick it with the rope attached to my knife and then maybe reel it in. Something of that nature. I mean, I guess I can poke it. I could try to stab it with my knife. Then maybe I'll have to bring in that writing skill as it spasms. It's floating. It says floating. It says hovering. Hovering, so I'm presuming that it is not fixed. Hovering, not fixed. Brian Smith says the 2 knives to the end of the rope, use it like a grappling hook. I know, Brian Smith, but I don't have the rope. That was my big shame, is I lost the rope in the last adventure and I got no monies. So I had no monies to buy more rope. So while there's some different options, some intriguing options, if we had rope, we don't. And unfortunately, unlike the case with the Princess Bride and the Chaos Cloak, I don't have a friendly giant to hand me some rope out of their vest pocket, or a wheelbarrow for that matter. So I just have myself and the knives. All right, here's what I'm going to do, because I'm going to stick it. It's near. I'm going to stick it. And then I think maybe I have to engage in that riding skill. See if I can ride the thing out and exhaust it. Well, I guess I can ask. Well, let's see if I can stick it first. If I can stick it, I'm just going to make a weapon skill attack. If I can stick it, actually clear that. Then we can ask the Oracle what's the response. We can ask the Oracle the response of the sticking. Oh, I need a D20. Oh, of course I miss. But I'm going to push. Got to push. Where's my push meter? Here it is. Oh, you. Okay. So I pushed and I got it. Now it's stuck. So now we got to roll 3 more 20s. Find out what is his response to me sticking it. 2820? First it was 511. Now we get 2820. What the heck's going on? I'm just going to put another box here. All right, our actions. Stuck it with a knife. Now this was not a throw. I'm holding it because my idea is to hold on to it. And what did I got? I got 2820. Was that right? Jeez. Brian Smith, come on. This is a family program. Peeing on it. Come on now. And how do we know that halflings pee is even hot? All right. 20. Weaken. Decaying weapon. Well, what kind of hot nonsense is that? No, I get that anyway. All right, I'll deal with that later. Weakened decaying weapon. Well, I mean, I'm guessing that's, my knife. What does it mean? What does it mean? Weakened decaying weapon. Shaved ice coming up. Yeah. That's what we needed. If we only had a background of shaved ice. Okay. Now, so this is the one issue. I mean, I say one like there's only one. This is an issue, and that is that we end up getting into things to which I don't know the answer in Dragonbane because I'm not intimately familiar with Dragonbane. If we were playing BX, for example, and I got something to do where it's going to maybe destroy my weapon, I mean, I could use the same methodology. Oh, maybe it's an X and 6 roll to give the knife strength, and then roll against strength, something like that. I'm not sure in Dragon's Bane. In Dragon, it's not. I keep wanting to say Dragon's Bane. In Dragonbane is. I'm not sure. I'll probably do something like that. But I got to figure out what I want to do next. So it is. I'm going to say at this moment, it is doing the weakening. It is weakening my poor knife. So now, can I wrangle it? Can I wrangle it to? And I'm gonna say because it's doing that, it's not lifting me off the ground. So I've got it now, like I've got like a snow cone in a weird looking. Someone were to walk in from the outside, they'd think I'd be holding a snow cone. They probably would be wondering why I haven't licked it yet. To Brian Smith's terrible suggestion of things to do. So I've got it in hand, but it is weakening my knife. But I've got it. Now it might just be a strength check, which I don't think I'm very good at. To shove this thing and kind of jam it onto the altar. I don't think I have a I mean, could I talk myself into giving it an acrobatics check? As I'm, instead of just trying to shove it, I try to, maneuver around and tap it. I probably could. Though it feels a little bit, not to say I shouldn't. Like sleight of hand, like, whoop, touch it. I don't know. I'm going to say I'm going to have to brute force drag it unless I have something. This is where the rope or something else would come in handy, which I don't have. I could perform something for it, like a little dance. But I don't think that's going to do it. I think acrobatics is more moving myself around, not moving me around. So I'm going to just try to have to go strength, and I might need to push it again. And I think if I fail, I'm not sure. I might have to lose the knife. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Drum roll, please. Of course, failed. Whoops, I forgot. I meant to roll it again, and I killed it. Come on. All right. So the knife's gone. I have failed. As it dissolves my knife away and then resumes its hovering. Welp. That. And I'm going to tick up my threat meter because we've been messing around doing stuff. So as we're going through the game, you have this threat meter. When the threat meter goes off, things happen. The threat in the first adventure was a goblin ambush. In this one, the threat is, let's see, the magma, churning magma. Magma bursts onto the scene. I mean, in this case, it's almost like, please have magma burst on the scene. But, probably don't want to. It might destroy the treasure before I can actually get to it. I might try one last thing before I just have to give up the treasure as much as I want it. Whoops. Give up the treasure, as I am going to use my acrobatics to try to just basically do a twisty leap on it, and hopefully I can kind of bounce off something and then just basically careen myself onto it, use my weight and my weight and momentum to try to drive it into the altar. And I'm not going to push this one if I fail. I'm just going to, I don't think anyway. I think I'm just going to just have to take it on the chin if this doesn't go. All right. I'm going to give myself a point of damage or so for, let's just say I jump on it, I grab it, it's starting to sway, and then it kind of spins as it's a sphere, and it's slippery, so it's ice covered. And instead of me knocking it into the, I give myself two, knocking it into the altar, I go slamming into the altar. All right, I guess I'm gonna have to move on, and I'll weep for having missed this room. So now we have to go back to see what's next. Go in here. Oops, wanted. So we were. Let's see. Nope. Not yet. Here we go. All right. So we went to the stone mall. Unknown. So we're into another unknown area. So we're gonna have to populate this area ourselves. And to do that, oops. I make this a little bigger so I can get the whole thing. To do that, we need to use the locations table. I'm gonna try to get you so I can get one whole page at a time. Oh, you're killing me. You're killing me. It's the one thing. Sometimes it's I just want to do something. I love this app. But man, every once in a while it can be kind of a goof to get through. All right. So here we go. So we need to roll a d20 on the area table to learn the type of zone. So we have this area table here. Roll d20. See what's next. Clear everything. D20. 6. And a 6 gives us a cramped chamber, which makes sense. We were in this claustrophobic crawl space, and now we've crawled our way into a cramped chamber. Actually, I'll just do it over here, and then I'll move it later. Did you put that in there? No, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't want to do that. I kind of like that you can, but I didn't want to. All right. Cramped chamber. There we go. Okay. Now we got to roll a d4 so we have to roll a d4 to say how many times we're going to roll on the location detail. So basically the d4, we're going to ask for d4 rolls on the d4 table. And we get 3. And then our first roll will be a deuce. And a deuce gives us an let's see, an environment. So with an environment, we got to roll a d20 on here. Environment, and I know I spelled that shittily because my keyboard. Environment is 18, which gives us slimy surfaces. They're all for giving me all kinds of icky surfaces. Okay, now our second d4, we got to roll. Our second thing is 3. A 3, which gives us an oddity. And the oddity is a 2, which is a 2, which is confounding puzzle again. Well, I didn't do so well with the last confounding puzzle, so. And then lastly, we get a 3 again. Is that oddity again? Another oddity. We're all about oddities today. 6. And this oddity, this peculiar oddity is crumbling terrain. Okay. Ugh. So maybe crumbling terrain. You're gonna move. Help me move. No. Okay. So we went from the claustrophobic crawl space stuff to the whoops, to the stone wall. Whoops. There we go. So we ended up in going from the claustrophobic crawl space into the cramped chamber. Crumbling terrain and a confounding puzzle again. What are our questions? Well, you know, first I'll get a theme. I like doing the theme. So let me get a theme. And that is, I think, 3d20. 3d20 gives us a 1-3-1. Guys, weird. 1-3-1. 1-3-1 gives us Avenge Blocked Barrier. Avenge Blocked Barrier. All right, so I'm going to say that this to me equates with that the crumbling terrain is that there's a some kind of rock slide has blocked main exits. I mean, that's definitely a puzzle that will confound me. It is certainly a confounding puzzle for me in my situation, given that I have no excavation tools. God, one dagger and one knife. I suppose I could chip away, make a quick. If it's ice, I suppose I could ask if it's ice or. I'll call it a crumbling ceiling. Because just like it's collapse. I guess I'll say a collapse to keep it. Now I am a halfling, so if it is a small, if it's a small exit, or you know, if there is any kind of gap, maybe I can slither my way through. Maybe I can slither and slide. We have any questions we want to ask? I guess I'll ask, is there an opening through the blockage? So with the yes, no questions, we head over here to our oracle. You'll note that we've got, it's a D6, and you can either get extreme yes or extreme no, no, yes, or extreme yes. And I'm not exactly sure. I probably could read it. You know, I guess I'm not exactly sure how the extremes are supposed to be handled, but I've just meant that to be if it's extreme no. So if I'm rolling for is there a way through the blockage and I get no, I might think, well, there might be, it just doesn't go all the way through. There might be some partial ways through. If I get extreme no, it's like there ain't nothing, right? But if I got extreme yes, maybe I'd say, oh, it's a very large opening, and then maybe it'd be easy to get through, or you know, something like that. So that's kind of how I've been using extreme yes or no. So I got extreme no. Of course, that's how it goes for me in this game, for the most part. Extreme no. All right, is there another way out? Be my next question. Maybe this is where the puzzle will come in. Should I even ask that question? See, here's one of the things too. Like, this is a neutral question, but if I get no or extreme no, then I kind of feel like then there's no confounding puzzle, which is I want to stay true to the themes of the room, right? What the room came up with. If there's a confounding puzzle, it makes sense that if I was running this as a game and the players need to find their way through an area and there's some kind of funky thing going on, but there's an obvious exit, and I say, oh, the obvious exit is blocked. And maybe you can do it. It's one of those things like I could definitely see using in a game. Well, maybe you could dig your way through this blockage, but it's going to take you a long time. It's going to be loud and it's going to be slow. But there's this other interesting road you can go on, and that's where the puzzle lies. And so you've given the party a choice. They could take the slow, loud way, or they can try this other thing. So I feel like just asking, is there another way out, is begging the system to give me another extreme no, which then means that there's no puzzle here because there's nothing else. I would just leave. If there's no way out, I walk into the thing, there's no way out. Like they could have confounding puzzles all around me. Whole wall full of Sudokus just waiting to be solved. And I'm just going to turn around and leave because it doesn't help me to solve random wall Sudokus. So let's instead, I'm going to use the Oracle to ask some themey stuff about what this other way out might look like. And I hope I talk this through in a way that makes sense. And, again, as a newish still solo player, I'm really feeling out my own sort of modus operandi for running these things. So this is what I'm kind of thinking for myself. Doesn't mean it'd be great for everybody, but that's how I'm trying to think of it. Okay, so where is my, whoops. Oh, here, I'm staring at the inspiration tables right there. I need 3 20s. 9, 17, 19. 9, hunt, protected, treasure. Oh, gosh, darn it. All right, this one, it just makes too much sense. You know what? The dice. Okay, so here's what's happened. We're running down on time, so I don't know how much longer, how further we're going to get. Here's what's happened. I just came out of a room with a confounding puzzle to get to a treasure. I tried 2 things. Neither one of them worked. I left. I come to the next room blocked by some kind of collapse in the room, but we don't know what there is. There's some other way through. It clearly is some kind of riddle, if you will. But in order to get there, let's just say there's something in there. Maybe I discern that there's another doorway, but it's got a weird symbology and stuff. But you know what? I've seen that symbology before, ladies and gentlemen. I've seen it. And that symbology, I could just make out. I can't tell in the details, but in the general shapes is in that stupid treasure chest that I couldn't get in the room I just left. So now I'm going to have to go back. I'm going to have to go back with my 1 dagger and my 1 knife, try to figure out how to solve this puzzle because it's giving me a callback. I got to go back. I got to get the puzzle. Now, the puzzle has been kicking my butt so far. And part of it is just because I have no tools. I do have 1 fictional positioning question left, which I did not use in that room. Oh, you know what? Let me ask here. We haven't asked. I'm going to ask a fictional. I didn't roll to see how many fictional positioning because I'm wondering if there's a tool in here that I can use in another room. So I am desperate for something. So what I've been doing is I give myself a D4 to see how many of these fictional positioning questions I can ask. I got 3. I'm going to probably need all of them. Fictional positioning 3. Uno. Whoops. Is there a tool or item in this room that I can use? I need an extreme yes. I think if I get an extreme yes, gosh, and I'm really just doing myself here. I know I'm not even gonna say. If I get extreme, maybe I'll say 1d4 things instead of one. So okay, here, yes, one thing, and then extreme yes, 1d4 things. There's stuff, but I got to get that extreme yes first, and I have score one for the good guys. Extreme yes. All right, look at that, and I got it. Extreme yes. 1d4 tools or just things. And I'm gonna to make this interesting, I'm not just gonna pick crap out of the equipment book, at least not to start. I really like doing the inspiration, so I'm gonna roll some things here because then we get some kind of cool esoteric items. 5, 8, and 15. So tool number. Oh, I didn't roll for the tools. 5, 8, 15. Hold on. 5, 8, 15. 5, 8, 15. Oh, just one. That's it. Well, whoops. Nope. Well, I still get one tool, and that's one question. So I need, what was it? 5, 8, 15. 5, 8, 15. I don't know why you have to keep rolling. But can I make you just bigger? Oh, you're now super big. 5, 8, 15. 5, destroy. It's good. Decaying. Power. All right. Well, I feel like I've got it. This will destroy the sphere. Hey, Frederick. I hear you on work. It is. Ends up being, where's my equal sign? What do I do with my glasses? Oh, there they are. Quote, destroy decaying power. All right. I'm going to say that this tool is the key to the sphere. I could use this. I can use this to debilitate the sphere and deactivate it on the altar. I still have 2 more fictional positionings left. I still have 2 left. All right, but we're at the bottom of the hour. So this is what's going to happen, folks. We're at a little bit of a I don't say a cliffhanger really. So we didn't get very far today, but that's okay. It happens. We were in the room in the claustrophobic crawl space. There's treasure buried in the ice of this crawl space in this little chamber. But to get to it, we got to destroy this sphere that's hovering around on an altar. Now I tried to stab the sphere and I succeeded, but I couldn't use that to my advantage to get the sphere onto the altar, and the sphere ended up destroying my knife. I then tried to throw myself at the sphere using my acrobatics and maybe do some kind of flip bounce action, and then drive the sphere into the table using my body, in the altar using my body. That also didn't work, and I took a couple points of damage. I then left, bummed out that this is not going to happen. But then the next room, which is a cramped chamber, has an exit that's been blocked off by some kind of collapse. There's another way out. And as I'm examining what maybe is a hidden doorway, a little doorway or something, there's symbology on there that calls back to the lid of the treasure chest that's in the other room. And in fact, the puzzle here is hunt protected treasure. Now, there's one protected treasure. We've just encountered it. So obviously going to have to go back and do that. But I did ask if there was a tool here to help me, and I got an extreme yes, and that extreme yes turned into an item that destroys decaying power, which is obviously the sphere. Now, I could ask myself the question, do I need to get the sphere? Can I just whack it with the thing and then put the sphere on the altar and burn it? Because I think that was the thing that it oddly enough, even though it's making ice, it is combustible. Or do I need to do this with the sphere already on the altar? Haven't figured this stuff out yet. I have 2 more questions, but we're going to save those 2 more questions for next time. Now, next time is probably not going to be next week. It'll probably be the week after. And that's because next week here on Lone Wolf Wednesday, we will not be alone, but I should have, if everything holds up, Daniel from Bandits Keep on, and we're going to discuss solo gaming because he does solo gaming on his channel, and I've just started doing solo gaming here. So I thought it'd be a neat time to have him come in and we can compare notes and compare how we do things. And that should be fun. So next week, we will be putting a pause on this mission, most likely, to have that interview with Daniel. Should be great. I'll have, more details and that stuff closer to. But if you could give a thumbs up on your way out, that would be awesome. Otherwise, if you found yourself in here and you enjoyed this and you're not subscribed to the channel, why not subscribe? That would also be awesome. But other than that, everybody have a great rest of your day, night, whenever you end up watching or listening to this. Game on. I will talk to you later. Bye now.